forget, he's a prince, okay? So to him, she's not the Queen of England in her palace. She's just granny in her house with the grandma smell, all right? I mean, we do have paparazzi. It's just they don't have cameras. Yeah. It's just the guy running after you like, I saw you, I saw you, I saw you, I saw you again, I saw you, I saw you. Harry, look at what you are wearing. I'm going to tell everybody, yeah? Wait, hold up. Their third date was to Botswana? I mean, normally on a third date, you might go to Red Lobster, but for a royal, you go to an entire African country? Wow. When he me good, I take his ass to Botswana.
Picture a packed O2 arena buzzing with energy, the spotlight cutting through the crowd as a sleek figure strides out with a grin that hints at mischief. Before the audience can settle, he fires the first shot, reminding everyone that royal fever has gripped the city and he's gleefully crashing the party. The atmosphere is electric as he likens the excitement to that of Meghan Markle, drawing laughter while the specter of Buckingham Palace looms in the background. He elaborates on how royal weddings are meant to be choreographed fairy tales, yet Harry and Meghan's spectacle morphed into a global obsession filled with hats, horses, and side-eye. Trevor paints a vivid picture of the palace as a giant break room stocked with crumpets, transforming centuries of pomp into sitcom material. He humorously suggests that being a royal is one of the sweetest gigs, complete with an unlimited budget for hats and the primary duty of waving to the public. As the laughter subsides, Trevor digs deeper, casting Harry and Meghan as the ultimate odd couple, an American actress with a black mother and a ginger prince on welfare. The room erupts as he cracks open the taboo, highlighting the stark contrast in their backgrounds. He nudges the narrative forward, revealing how tabloids sharpened their knives long before the vows, hunting for that one embarrassing relative to splash across the front page. Trevor conjures an imaginary Uncle Bobby, who embarrassingly shits his pants on cue, illustrating the brutal feeding frenzy of Fleet Street. He then makes a savage comparison, likening Britain's royals to the Kardashians, with the occasional beheading thrown in for good measure. This punchline detonates the myth of untouchable majesty, leaving palace press officers choking on their after-dinner mints. Yet this is just the opening volley. Trevor has sharper blades hidden in his tux pocket, ready to roast racist headlines, blast hypocritical avocado scandals, and drag 93-year-old Queen Elizabeth into a hip-hop video. The next strike is aimed directly at Fleet Street tabloids, which smelled fresh blood the moment Meghan Markle crossed the palace threshold. Editors who typically nibble on polite gossip suddenly found themselves feasting on scandal, slamming their presses into overdrive. Trevor senses the hysteria in the air, painting a nightmare scenario where Meghan's black family commandeers a live microphone at Windsor, rewriting the fairy tale with unscripted honesty. He humorously expresses relief that it was Meghan's white family that took center stage, suggesting that the black side of her family would have been too much for the public to handle. As he rewinds to the early days of their romance, Trevor highlights the absurdity of a headline that screamed Meghan was almost straight out of Compton, turning early amusement into exasperated disbelief at the laziness of the smear. He contrasts their romantic escapades where ordinary couples might toast cheap margaritas. Harry sweeps Meghan away to Botswana under a velvet canopy stitched with constellations. Trevor wrings every ounce of absurdity from this contrast, joking that a prince apparently buys an entire African nation the way the rest of us spring for cheddar biscuits at a chain restaurant. The laugh lands, but it also underscores the media's inability to articulate black joy that dares to venture beyond Kensington. He highlights the stark contrast in media treatment, noting how when Kate cradled her baby bump, the Daily Mail praised her tenderness, while Meghan's similar gesture was met with scrutiny and accusations of pride and vanity. As the applause ebbs, prejudice struts across the stage, wearing a couture hat and calling itself journalism. One by one, Trevor's clips peel away the royal mystique until only a very old family remains, sweating beneath the glaring lights of modern satire. In the hush that follows, he leans forward with a promise, hinting at a scorching monologue that the palace once shredded to keep hidden. A hush ripples through Windsor Castle when Harry and Meghan introduce their newborn son to the cameras, the infant swaddled in white beneath vaulted ceilings. The miracle of birth is universal, Yet nothing about this reveal feels ordinary. Every flashbulb seeks proof of the future, wondering about the baby's features and whether his arrival would bend the empire toward true inclusion. Trevor marvels at the regal gravity clinging to a baby who moments earlier had been little more than a heartbeat rustling inside palace silk. He recounts the announcement of their son, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, but refuses to let the press wallow in sentimentality. He reminds everyone that these same onlookers once obsessed over the wedding's supposed blackness, as if a smattering of melanin might dethrone St. George himself. As laughter subsides, a new question hovers in the rafters. If scrambled timelines of race, romance, and brunch can drive the press into a meltdown, what happens when Harry and Meghan decide to rewrite their royal contract entirely? The fuse is already sizzling, and the next explosion may echo all the way to Sandringham. Back when the palace hoped an engagement ring might tame every tabloid beast, the moment Harry's wedding hit the wires, Britain's gossip circuit surged with voltage. Enter comedian Gina Yasher, who delivered a line so crisp it sliced through centuries of royal protocol, noting that London hadn't been this frenzied since Piers Morgan left for America. Trevor seizes this rhythm to sketch the true stakes. Meghan is American, divorced, and most provocatively, unmistakably black. According to Trevor, these traits combined into the most rebellious recipe a princess could serve to a monarchy that still counts tea leaves before dawn. The arena's laughter curls into cheers, and even from across the Atlantic, Buckingham's stone facade seems to twitch. He highlights how the press's sly code words, unroyal, unconventional, broken home, carry the faint musk of a drawing room where races are whispered about but never named. Trevor lobbed the truth bomb that left pedigreed jaws slack, reminding everyone that while the press screamed about Meghan's so-called unconventional roots, no one seemed bothered that Queen Elizabeth shares a family tree with her own husband. His grin widens as he reminds the audience that royal bloodlines twist like ivy, entwining cousins far more tightly than any social media rumor ever could. The punchline detonates, echoing off chandeliers older than living memory. He cues his colleague Michael Costa to embody this freshly minted czar, and the crowd howls at the visual of a pale-skinned figure, smug, and about as diverse as a porcelain teacup. Trevor probes the plan, and Costa breezily suggests that Britain should invite non-white countries to become British again, trading raw materials for cricket lessons. The line detonates like a colonial cannon, eliciting laughter even as jaws drop at the shamelessness. Trevor counters with a snapshot of the Queen's record. 7 decades on the throne and only one breed of dog. The gag lands because everyone knows the image by heart, and when even the royal pets lack variety, a diversity czar feels more like a stage prop than a solution. He widens the lens, reminding the audience that whenever world leaders huddle, they are often hustling for deals or angling for a cameo in the next Davos selfie. He envisions next-level sponsorships, promo codes whispered in buttery royal tones, and blue blood branding stamped on everything from herbal teas to ergonomic pillows. The punchline lands with a mattress ad promising princely sleep for a fraction of the crown jewels, complete with a discount code fit for a crest. The crowd erupts in laughter, but beneath the humor lies tenderness as Trevor recalls the moment Harry pitched his wife's talent at a red carpet mingler, calling it the ultimate relationship flex. He crystallizes a broader truth. Fame tethered to history can become a runaway carriage, glamorous, yet impossible to steer. Harry and Meghan may have swapped ritual for streaming, but they still tow centuries of expectation behind every step. Trevor frames their new life as both freedom and burden, a tightrope strung between brand opportunity and public appetite for spectacle. Harry, momentarily stunned, fumbles for an answer, and the crowd in Trevor Noah's studio is already wheezing with laughter because the royal matriarch has just outquipped a stand-up comic's fantasy. Trevor rolls the clip again, savoring that dry touch like the pop of vintage champagne, reminding everyone that this is the very institution once introduced to the world as the Kardashians with an occasional beheading. Yet tonight, the crown's sharpest blade is a grandmother's deadpan comeback. The punchline lingers, sparkling before Trevor resets the frame and widens the lens to the palace's broader brand conundrum. He jokes that Britain's House of Windsor has quietly evolved into the world's #1 exporter of black daughters-in-law, a line that ricochets across the arena as everyone remembers how Meghan's arrival threatened tradition more than any constitutional crisis. His final gem lands with the hush of history catching its breath, suggesting that if the monarchy is now a meme machine and its rebels are headlining podcasts, perhaps the real throne sits wherever an audience tunes in. He poses the question that will rattle the comment section like Big Ben at midnight. Has the House of Windsor become yesterday's punchline or tomorrow's binge watch? He invites the audience to drop their thoughts below, like subscribe and stay tuned, teasing that the next video is waiting and they won't believe what's coming next.